Welcome to an episode of Creativity Unsheathed. I'm Ollie-O-Rey.
And I'm Nino.
And yes, we are brothers.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And thank you for tuning in today, whether you be on a 10-minute break, our lunch, or you just so happen to stumble upon our channel. And we are thankful that you are here. Hit subscribe, hit the bell, like, all that jazz. But today, our mind's eye looks at Modern Masters Volume 12. The great Michael Golden. And Modern Masters, Michael Golden is. For me, his most notable work is that Batman Special #1 that we looked at, but his work...
It's pretty engaging.
Yeah, for sure. And
get up in this Michael Golden.
I don't know about you, man, but yeah, my mind's eye is ready to dive into this Michael Golden.
Get up in this Michael Golden.
And this was published by Tomorrow Publishing. Get an introduction. Kevin Nolan just raving about the guy, saying how masterful he is.
I guess I'll just go draw comic books.
Michael Golden didn't really read or collect comic books. He wasn't really exposed to that pop culture stuff.
You really gotta cut those dilettantes out of him. He started doing commercial work.
He read a lot of children's digests, one of those adventure books. And read a lot of Charles Dickens.
Yeah.
He really considered himself more of a storyteller due to reading those Charles Dickens compared to the illustrating and cartooning stuff and the like newspaper strips and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he got those children's digests by his mom that she would buy for him.
A Strange Raccoon from Another World, penciled by Terry Austin and inked by Michael Golden. Terry says this was done soon after the release of 1978's Superman, the motion picture. And then above, you got Defenders number 53, one of Michael's first jobs from Marvel, inked by Terry Austin as well.
Below is the opening page of Marvel's adaptation of Edgar Allan Poe classic, The Cast of Entomologo. And then the next page right here. Page 6 of To Catch a God, House of Mystery number 257. And page 3 of the Twilight Zone-esque Phantom City, Ghost number 88.
Ooh, Phantom City is all cool.
Yeah, he didn't really cultivate his art skills, according to him. He said he just seemed like a natural talent. Like, wow, that's cool.
It's pretty awesome. It's just a job. That's fucking badass. It's pretty cool.
He did commercial work during the late 60s and early 70s by doing like murals on walls, vans, trucks, while doing small design work for like skateboards and surfboards.
Wow, I did some Etrigan too.
So that previous page was to a Man-Bat backup strip in Batman Family number 20. Got inked by Joe Rubinstein. Above right here is the Demon Unleashed from Detective Comics number 482. Inks by Dick Giordano. Next page is once Steve Gerber took over Mr. Miracle, he began playing up the Mr. Miracle as a messiah aspect of the Kirby stories. Opening splash from Mr. Miracle number 25. Inks by Russ Heath.
Jesus Christ.
Oh man, yeah, that really showing that messiah.
Right here we have a Batmite detail. New York Adventure. Also Detective number 482. Previous page was Mr. Miracle number 25. Inks by Russ Heath.
This cover intended for Mr. Miracle number 26 was printed in DC's canceled comics Cavalcade.
I would love to see a series, a live series.
And right before he blew off offers for work at DC Comics because he had no interest in the business. Until one day, like one of his friends bought like a ticket for him, like to go to New York.
Mm-hmm.
So pretty much forcing him to go to
Show his work, huh?
in interviews because he was really talented and his friends see it, but to
Mm-hmm.
him he didn't really think nothing out of it. Like it's just doodle work. So like when you can go to the page, like and then when they went to New York and once he landed, like the next day, like DC and Marvel both gave him a job.
Oh.
He had a day job as an electrician in Central Florida, and surprisingly enough, he suffered a mild frostbite to his hands. So that led him to like really making a final decision to go do comics instead.
Oh yeah.
So it's like, I think I can have some better use of my hands.
For real, before he loses them, man.
So, and thankful for that decision because, we wouldn't get some masterful work right now.
Yeah, it's fucking awesome.
And let alone the lineage of artists that got influenced by him. You get Art Adams. Todd McFarlane.
Yes, Todd.
He just provided that cartoony style, and yet it had that realism to it.
Yeah. See, Jack Kirby's New Gods.
Oh, so he gets Jack Kirby's New Gods plus Eliana, the character created by Steve Gerber along with Michael and Mr. Miracle number 24. The next page is an early 80s sketch of Bug and Acroyer of the Micronauts. Let's see some redesigns of Kirby in his style. That's pretty cool.
Little dollhouse scene.
So right here, page 17 of Micronauts number 1, trusty transcriber Stephen Tice asked Al Gordon about the Micronauts. Here's what he had to say. Sometimes licensors were eager to get Marvel to do books based on their properties, that they were lax in overseeing the material. They trusted us to do a good job. In the case of the Micronauts, several of the cast were created by Marvel. So in those cases, no approval was needed. Michaels was experimenting with the look of his pencils. He was using a finer line, quite lovely and illustrative, but lacking in power and impact. This was more evident on the interiors than on the covers. As I recall, we were using very crappy paper to print the books on back then. Very thin. The fine lines employed by Golden and faithfully inked by Joe were all but covered up by the color. I spoke to Michael about giving his work a more robust look, and I'm sure I cited Kirby as a guy to look at. Not only for the dynamism of his work, but also as an example of how to deal with poor paper and weak reproduction and color. Michael took my suggestion and ran with them. He ramped up his approach and it immediately started turning in much bolder, more dramatic work. This is Michael's catastrophic cover to Micronauts number 18.
That's really good work.
Prior to Micronauts, he received steady work during doing horror anthologies, writing, drawing, and inking his own stories for DC Comics and fill-in work for Marvel. And there would be stories he'd write, but then there would be mild fixes to dialogue or scenes, but then another writer would get credit for it. Damn.
That sucks. So, hey, he knew he did it. Mm-hmm.
He tends to look at everything as a job and is all about the end result. He gets his enjoyment based on that end result, but always makes sure he does his best to impress the art to the reader.
Yeah, the previous top page was originally intended by an inventory story for Marvel Team Up. It eventually became the first 2 issues of Marvel Fanfare.
Star Wars, huh?
Yeah, that one is Star Wars number 38. The previous and this one. And Star Wars number 38. And this was a convention sketch of Rogue. Some Spider-Woman from Avengers Annual number 10.
After the DC's implosion, Marvel offered Michael Golden more money, which led him his first Marvel gig being Micronauts. And co-creating Rogue.
I'm kind of interested to see what Micronauts is about. Looks interesting.
On top of those licensed products like Micronauts, he was able to do Star Wars.
Look at that dynamic pose of beast.
It's tight. So it's the scenes like this shown here at the actual size from page 3 of Avengers Annual number 10. and that add warmth and richness to the characters.
It's good hair.
Hell yeah.
It's good one. Study up, guys.
Page 7 and 28 of Avengers Annual number 10.
Every time I see other people, I really want to draw. Awesome.
Really get inspired right away, like,
Oh
man.
yeah.
It's like, oh, so that's how you did it. Makes you want to like try that technique, you know? Like, oh,
Give me a pencil and paper real quick.
it's like you get made fun of. Man, how long does it take you to read a comic? I am studying.
Yeah. I'm just still on the first page.
I'm studying. I'm not just reading the book. I'm studying the art.
It's like you studying other directors,
Oh yeah,
right? You're studying directors. Oh, like what made them want to do this choice of angles? Like, oh. Let us take a moment here to let us introduce a few webcomics that my brother Oliver and I have created.
Over in 60 seconds, a martial arts anthology of short stories. Flash Night Frights, a horror anthology of short stories such as A Heart to Heart with a Goblin. A Filipino mythical monster helps a guy get the woman of his dreams. A Howling Silhouette. A writer on the path of self-discovery stumbles upon the wild, unexpected change. Sucks to be you. Two crooks plan to rob their neighbor but get more than they bargained for. Stole Ghost. A skeptic puts an urban legend to the test. Double Dare. A game of truth or dare ends with a paranormal twist. I Ponder a Monster. The negativity of peer pressure manifests in urban legend seem real. And The Absent. Four best friends are up against a witch who's behind a mass kidnapping of children to complete a demonic army. The Absent is the biggest 93-page story we created as a brother duo so far. It was originally meant to be a 3-issue floppy, but the probabilities are still there. For now, they're all available to you in webcomic format for free. All you're spending is more precious time. Click the links in the description below and continue to help us do what we love.
Anything here?
I don't know.
Hey, Stan Lee, right?
Wow,
It is Stan.
he does good character work.
Oh shit, that's Ditko.
Wow.
Stan and oh look, yeah, and then that's Strange.
Also, okay, Doctor Strange meet his creators Ted Tavosky, aka Steve Ditko, and Les Taint, aka Stan Lee. Page 10 of Doctor Strange number 55. Inks by Terry Austin. Oh, that is so cool.
Dude, tell me this doesn't look a little Filipino to you.
It's like cool corner box art.
Ooh, man.
Panel from page 2 of Doctor Strange number 55. Check out the Rain on Window effect by inks by Terry Austin.
The previous picture of Strange was for the cover of number 55.
Page 12 of X-Men Annual number 7. The book ended up being inked by 11 different artists, counting Michael himself. This page right here is inked by Terry Austin. Oh, to my go-to book right there. Opening page of Batman Special number 1.
Oh, yeah, it is, huh?
Yeah.
The split screen. That's pretty clever. That was a good.
Make you fall in love with Batman.
That's a good direction. Little Kirby Crackle.
Or Bucky O'Hare stuff. He likes to work from a full script than the Stan Lee Marvel way. He wants to know what the writer wants to see. If the writer knows how to tell a story, he'll like fix certain beats if the writer misses something.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, his co-creation with Larry Hama, Bucky O'Hare.
Which was also a video game.
Bucky O'Hare panel as it is originally saw print on page 2 of Echo of Future Past number 1, and as it saw prints on page 5 of Bucky O'Hare number 1. Not only was the panel moved and dialogue changed, but the background was erased and Bucky's eyes were redrawn. Sketch of the first mate of righteous indignation, Jenny. Jenny uses her wily charms on Willie to convince him to join the team. And a sketch, Bucky O'Hare's Dead-Eye Duck.
Kind of looks like a little toddy right there, huh?
Oh, yeah.
A little Art Adams as well, huh?
So below is a gouache painting for a Savage Sword of Conan magazine cover. Cover art for Call of Conqueror number 7. While Michael painted several covers for this particular cover was colored in the traditional manner.
That's a cool picture. Look how he signed his name here. Check it. Golden.
Now I know how to look for his name. See if he hides it anywhere particular. So page 9 and 10 of Nam from Savage Tales number 1. Man, that's crazy. He turned down to go back to DC to work on Batman, to work on Nam, which outsold X-Men the first month.
Wow.
Yeah.
And he went back and forth.
Yeah, he was just willing to find any type of job, like in that commercial work. He would do covers, but he really disliked butting heads with other creators or like editors and stuff. It's like, and like they would like when it came to that tight deadlines, he wasn't able to like finish some ink works. That's why like he would have like 7+ inkers or like another inker finish up his work. To that Batman
special.
Yeah, an inker, I think Mike DeCarlo, he came in and helped finish inking that book. Those frustrations really, like, didn't want him to do sequential art. But then until, like, Nam, he was able to just do everything himself.
On his terms, yeah.
Yeah, like, story, pencils, inks, color, like, damn. The cast of Nam as they appeared in Savage Tales magazine. Truly beautiful cover art for Nam number 13.
Man, those choppers look awesome.
Man, to the T. How detailed that is.
Man, look at that. Like,
even that motion effect of it, like.
Oh yeah. From Nam, and then you got this guy.
It's like a mixture of like Bucky O'Hare and.
Oh, it's drawn in the back of an original page from Nam. It does remind me of J. Scott Campbell.
Oh yeah.
His G.I. Joe.
2-page spread from Marvel Fanfare number 47. And Spidey and the Hulkbuster don't feel so well, editorially speaking.
Howard the Duck, Wonder Woman convention sketch. A trading card for the Versus game system.
Thought about Star Wars Day since that passed. And since Michael Golden did some Star Wars. How cool was to look at this on Star Wars Day?
Oh yeah.
Knowing that he penciled, inked, and colored those issues. Yeah, I would love to see that. It's pretty cool.
Big difference, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. Oh, where do you even start?
Finished pencils and inks. The Many Worlds of Tesla Strong, number 1.
Tesla Strong.
What is that?
What is this?
Tesla Strong. Oh, America's Best Comics.
He became an editor at DC to put together passion projects of a Sergeant Rock special, but it got canceled due to the license got picked up at Dark Horse. So that's kind of, and like due to that, like the editor, he quit editorial work just due to those kind of like demanding schedules, and I guess and then he started going back to commercial work, which kind of explains that Tom McFarlane
Kiss cover.
Yeah.
Cover number 3 for Psycho Circus.
Yeah, it's kind of ironic that he does work for Tom McFarlane. Knowing that Tom McFarlane got inspired by him.
Right?
It's like kind of full circle.
Yeah.
It's like, it's like
the one who inspired me.
Like the whole spider webbing, it's like everyone says like Michael Golden came out with that first, but it's like what they want to kind of give Todd that credit.
Oh, wow.
And of course he does a little thing more extra, so he does put more webbing, more.
So Michael Golden called it that, but he didn't try it.
He drew it but never called it that. He never called anything particular that type of webbing.
Jackie Chan. Jackie Chan comic book.
Oh yeah, that's pretty.
Spartan X. Wow.
I think they worked closely with Jackie Chan.
Wow.
I think Jackie Chan was involved in that project, kind of to see if like the comic or the storytelling would satisfy in his taste.
Mm-hmm. Oh, look. Golden.
Oh, there. Okay, so he does. He definitely would hide it. That's cool. Cover art for Marvel's G.I. Joe number 116. Got a Nomad cover number 25.
Galactus Surfer.
Cosmic Powers Unlimited miniseries. Man, that's tight.
Wow, look at that. Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Whoa.
Damn. Yeah, he doesn't like drawing. I think he hates it.
Man.
To him, it's a waste of time.
Like, yeah, it's just a job. Man, he considers himself just a job, huh? But man, he really puts a lot of work into it. Really puts a lot of thought. I think it's a Triceratops.
A T-top. It's a T-top.
T-top. It's a cover art for Jurassic Park number 1.
Oh, how the comic look?
I wonder what
It looks like he's riding the T-top.
kind of looks like Two-Face a little bit. I
see.
Storytelling and creative process.
Got a little Deadpool action. That's pretty badass. It's a crow.
Convention sketch.
Love the crow.
Man, how cool would it see his have him do a crow comic?
Oh man, I'll even take a little one-shot or mini-series.
Michael's pencils along with Mike Manley's inks for page 7 of Birds of Prey number 66.
He really has good likeness too. Man.
When working out perspectives for a complicated panel such as the first panel of Birds of Prey number 66, page 20 shown here, Michael will often work it out on a separate sheet of paper first. Well, of course, you gotta do those thumbnails.
Yeah, you gotta do the layouts, man. Storyboards. It is really tricky drawing cars and people on the streets.
In perspective.
Yeah, man, it's...
Man, without looking flat.
Like, it would look like you took that from a freaking picture.
It's all freehand. I don't think he does trace. I don't think that's part of his process. Run, kitty, run. Rough layout and finished inks for a Jurassic Park illustration.
Oh no, where'd the cat come from? There was no cat in the movie.
Snack.
See, look, it does. They're all raptors, yeah, but then look, they do look like birds.
Mr. Toucan. Man, that's just rough, huh? In order to avoid a lot of confusion during the inking stage, this cover for Ultimate Spider-Man Special number 1 was penciled in 2 layers, resulting in a stunning finished image.
Damn, that's...
Wow, it's amazing.
My only gripe is his hair's a little big, huh?
Ooh.
Maybe he had to, because to make him pop out.
Right.
From the rest of the faces. Fun times inking, huh? Just turn on the radio, get some coffee, ink.
Another panel for Birds of Prey number 66 from layout to pencils.
It's Birds of Prey?
I think that's another book to look at to study off of.
Upper Deck art cards. Shaman King. Amadamaru.
It was an manga series. Never heard of it, sorry. Comment below, tell us what you think of it.
That's him. That's Michael. That's him.
Michael at HeroesCon 2007
I thought it was just a myth.
in Charlotte, North Carolina. And below is a cover art for Jackie Chan's Spartan X #2. That's awesome.
Kind of Daredevil cover, huh?
He mentioned that he liked to work for manga and do some anime work. And he would like to work with like Viz and their property. And then within his career in comics, he has really seen the changing growth of the comic book industry. And it's like you just have to find ways to adjust. Mm-hmm. Utilizing digital tools and webcomics. Mm-hmm. And it's like you always got to find ways to adjust and trying to get comics out there or your art.
Some convention sketches of Micronauts,
Marionettes, and Aquayer around Space Night.
Wow, Avengers.
Man, I think he has to be up there with like George Perez.
Yeah, yeah. It has to be like one of my favorite Iron Mans.
That Ditko suit.
Yeah, like less plates, less panels, less technical.
I really want to read his Doctor Strange's. I just want to admire. I mean, other than these, I really want to admire his sequential art. Study off of those.
Some pencil work.
Oh, I think this is the one with he was working with Pete Craig Russell. It wasn't until he was working with him on that project, he helped him kind of like fine tune his penciling and inking. You do definitely learn from other inkers as far as like how the decision making when you do lay down that final line. It's like, oh man, like okay, like I'll adjust on the next page or
do better on the next one.
Right? Or it's like, oh, why you fucked up my page? You've broken through my spears of illusion with a single spell.
The power of despair. Oh, good one. Good one, boss. Good spelling. Man, I like that Filipino flavor in it, right?
To some will be unnecessary noodling, but it's good textures if you don't mind. If you're fast and you mind adding those textures, why not?
That looks like the actor that did the movie.
Cumberbatch?
No, like in the early 80s, the 70s, that it was like a bad...
Wasn't he a real magician?
Mm-hmm. Like a bad... not really bad, but a poor, low budget.
Yeah, see, Pete Craig Russell.
Different hairstyles.
I feel like parting my hair today. Wow. Oh man, pretty gnarly.
Looks like they dropped a picture in there, huh?
Batman special. Man, it's pretty cool. Man, just look at that the energy that he puts into the body, the anatomy. It's really
Oh yeah, he really
it's really good.
Pulled it.
It's really powerful stuff. Man, and just definitely the energy of just the bullets hitting the impact. Man, it's awesome.
What is this?
Legends of Dark Knight annual #1. Some powerful stuff. Man. Yeah, Michael Golden is definitely inspirational and forever to continue to study off of. And for those who are looking for some material and an artist, Michael Golden is definitely the guy to look at and find his book, Modern Masters Turtles. Michael Golden.
Stay golden. Thank you, Michael.
We'd like to end this episode with a motivational quote for all our viewers out there.
This one is by Leonardo da Vinci. Obstacles cannot crush me. Every obstacle yields to stern resolve. He who is fixed to a star does not change his mind.
I don't know about you, man, but I got the itch to create. What do you say?
Stay creative. Tell your story.